Hi everyone, welcome back to Slow Fashion Mom. I'm Rachel and today I've got a special brand spotlight for you on Peggy Sue Collection. I had the chance to interview the creator, Peggy Sue Deaven-Smiltnieks, at the Wear Conference back in November, and I'm so excited to share that with you today. So Peggy Sue Collection is an annual women's line made from absolutely beautiful textiles. And what makes them unique is that they are completely sourced locally. So she's using American organic cotton, upcycled denim, and Canadian wool, which is then knit or woven into the fabrics for the collection. Peggy Sue's designs are absolutely gorgeous, and it is truly a fashion line that's good for both people and the planet. So let's get right to Peggy Sue. I hope you enjoy the interview, and thank you so much for watching.
Hi, my name is Peggy Sue. I'm with Peggy Sue Collection, the founder and creative director of a small independent fashion company that makes women's wear that is hyper traceable all the way back to the fiber farm that it was sourced from. So I used to work for a very large company creating a multi-billion-dollar company, helping create their supply chain, build it, rebuild it for multiple design lines that were very high profile. And so I discovered the dirty underbelly of that system, and a lot of my friends became farmers in upstate New York. Started asking me hard questions because they were starting independent farm companies in the middle of the recession, and things like prices for a dozen of eggs were scary. And so they started asking me about my supply chain that I worked with and what the prices were of things, and I had to tell them I don't know. And so when I learned and discovered, I found out about how fashion is really, in its current existence corporately, doing a lot of harm in the world. And so I started looking into local fiber, local supply chains, local labor, and realizing that we could truly use what was available here locally and connect it in a way that made products that supported the economy within our community. And in finding those individuals and getting further acquainted with those communities, I found Fiber Shed, and we realized we were both doing a lot of the same thing. And so when Upper Canada Fiber Shed was forming, and I was forming the supply chain for Peggy Sue Collection, we started sharing. We started saying, hey, have you met this person? Hey, have you met this person? They fit exactly what you're doing, and vice versa. And so we started this community, and it became a really lovely living and breathing group of people and skill sets. And yeah, so I am quite involved and really quite passionate about its success. So the first valid award that we received was a $5,000 grant from the Halton Business Center for the merit of our business plan. And what that meant was I had to hack out a very thoughtful business plan and truly think about my company in a holistic setting, as well as its planned trajectory. And once I had received that seed money, as well as really thought through the bones of my company, that's when I went to TFI New Labels. And that was an entire process of taking the supply chain that I had been building and really elevating the design and making it aspirational, and then exposing and launching that design in a 10-look collection that featured only fibers that were of the Fiber Shed and only from Ontario means of milling and making, which not many people knew about until after the win, because it was a competition based solely on design, which was very important, because up to that point, those modes of making had been seen as second rate, if that. And so to see these fibers then capture such a win on such a large showing platform with a fashion community, that said a lot. And a lot of the supply chain was present for that night, for that win. So a lot of the farmers, the mills, the makers were there themselves. And so when that win was announced, it really wasn't just my win. It was everyone there in that room who had truly invested in that entire process. And so after that, we went and were a part of TW's relaunch, and we showcased Sally Fox's incredible biodynamic color-grown organic cotton and talked about what it means to have an excellent plant fiber that supports biodiversity and farmer seed rights within our local fiber shed. So all made in Canada, all our handwovens all still made here. And also our upcycling. We did a great deal of upcycling in collecting Ontario denim from waste streams and taking it and then reinvigorating it and creating yarn, textile, as well as mending and reinvigorating items that were discarded. And so it was a very powerful collection. It was also just after the American election and was my company's way of saying, no, we are a small and mighty and impactful force for good, and there is positivity in the world, in communities coming together. And so it was that collection that I took to Design Forward when I applied and went through their vetting process. And they asked me all about our systems. They wanted to know all the in-depth details of how our farmers farmed and how our mills made and how our garments were constructed and why, and the business of it as well as the sustainability of it, so that when we brought the collection to Design Forward, we were really talking about fashion for everyone. What is a wardrobe staple? What are the pieces that we should begin building on? And the subsequent trip to Asia, sponsored by Testex, China, Shanghai, and then to Tokyo, was pivotal in really understanding global sustainability, because what it means to be sustainable in North America, there's so many cultural nuances to what it means to be sustainable. And that was eye-opening. So our next presentations will absolutely address the nuances that I saw while abroad on those trips. These wins have truly helped to raise greater awareness to what it means to be sustainable, to be functional in our designs, as well as wearable, approachable, affordable, ... And it's proven to be a wonderful launching point to really help engage people. And at this time, I'm so encouraged by how people are asking questions about their fashion. It's wonderful. It's better than I could have ever imagined. So next for us is we are going to actually start getting what's called better basics, the staples that everyone wears every single day, really to market with our better fibers, organic cottons that support biodiversity, local Ontario alpaca and wool fibers. We're going to start getting those into silhouettes that everyone can access and wear every day, because sustainability, while it is an ethical luxury, it shouldn't be relegated to your special events. If we're truly about sustainability, you should be rolling out of bed in it, you should be working out in it, you should be picking up your kids in it and going to work in it, and then going out in the evening in it. It should really impact all parts of a person's life. So that's where we're looking to take things next.
That's so exciting. I'm so happy to hear that. And online?
So online, you can find our products at www.PeggySueCollection.com/shop.